Thunder Rolling in the Mountains, Chapter 1. That day we dug roots in Deer Meadow. Now we were riding fast for home. There were 7 of us on good horses. I rode in the lead, pulling a travois filled with coos roots. We were on a trail of fallen trees and rock slides, but a storm was coming, and it was the shorter way to our village. I had not ridden the trail for many moons. It had changed a lot in that time. We came upon row after row of fallen trees too jumbled for the travois, and I was forced to go around them. We came to a treeless spur on the mountain. A north wind blew down from Hawk's Peak. It was spring, but the peak was covered with snow, and the wind whipped the snow down upon us in wet clouds. It was hard to see the trail. "I'm freezing," Little Lark, one of my cousins, said. "I think we should go back and take the long trail." The other 5 riders, 2 of my cousins among them, agreed with her, but the girls sat on their horses and said nothing. "There's no hurry I know about," Little Lark said. "We told our mothers before we left to dig roots that we would be gone 3 suns. The 3rd sun is somewhere in the mist. It will be above us before we reach home." I gave her my blanket, and we rode on and left the mountain spur. The trail dipped down out of the wind into a place of tall grass and a winding stream. It was a beautiful meadow. I remembered riding through it at the beginning of winter when the aspen trees had turned to gold. The aspen trees were gone. Their branches were lying around, but the trees were gone. They had been sawed off close to the ground. I saw smoke rising at the far end of the meadow. It came from a cabin made from the aspen trees. We pulled up our horses and sat staring. The horses were nervous. They raised their heads and sniffed the air. We were more nervous than the horses. "What is it? Sound of running feet?" asked my friend White Feather. "White people," I said. "Indians do not build cabins." Many times when our chieftains talked, I heard them speak of the white people. They had not set foot upon our land, only on the lands that belonged to a part of our tribe, those who called themselves Christians, those who had sold their land to the Big Father, who lived in a faraway place called Washington. The white people were called settlers, and they came to plant seeds, but mostly to dig gold out of the streams and the rocks. I cautioned my cousins and the other girls to ride at a trot and to keep their eyes to themselves. None of them had a weapon, but I carried a rifle. My grandfather, old Joseph, had given it to me more than 6 snows ago as he lay dying. Until my 14th birthday, 3 moons ago, it had hung in the lodge. Then I took it from its place, for I, sound of running feet, was then a woman. In this short time I had learned to use it. At first it was too heavy to lift, and I had to prop it up on a branch or on my horse's back before I could shoot. Now I could handle it and shoot straight. My father did not like the rifle, but old Joseph had given it to me. It would be bad to speak against the gift now that old Joseph was dead. He could come back and make trouble. 3 children sat in the cabin doorway. When we rode by, they were as quiet as mice when an owl is around. Our trail crossed the stream a short way beyond the cabin. A man and a woman with her hair piled on top of her head stood in the stream up to their knees. The woman was shaking a copper pan, letting the stream wash over it. The man kept filling the pan with dirt that a boy of our people brought him in a shovel. The woman kept working when she caught sight of us, but the man stopped. He was tall and thin and had a scraggly beard and a small bald head. He said something I did not understand, which the boy changed into our words. "He wants to know how you are," the boy said. I paused with the others silent behind me and did not answer his question. I said, "Ask the white man why he has built a cabin on land that he does not own." The boy I knew about. He showed Nimi-pu tattoos on the back of his hands. He had gone to the mission school near the Snake River at the place of the butterflies. His name was Stormcloud, and he had been mixed up in a murder. I asked him again. He looked at me with anger in his gaze before he spoke to the white man. The white man said, and Stormcloud changed his words, "You Nez Perce own too much land. You can't use all the land, not half of it, not even a tenth of the land. You're a greedy bunch." The whites called us Nez Perce, although that was not our name. They said it meant hole through the nose. None of our people ever put ornaments in their noses, but when the whites decided something was so, nothing could change their minds. All of us were angry. We glared at each other. Then the man warned us not to send our warriors to talk to him. If you do, there'll be trouble, he said. My name is Jason Upright, and I have friends. I pressed my lips tight to hold back the words. Then I dug my heels into my pony's side, and we all rode through the stream and across the meadow. There was a tall hillock at the bottom of the meadow covered with trees. As we came to the top, I jumped off my horse and took careful aim with my rifle at the pan Jason Upright's wife held in her hands. The shot made a big hole in the pan and tossed it high in the air. Our trail followed the winding stream and crossed it many times, so we had trouble with the travois piled high with goose roots. We also came upon a bear, a grizzly bear, standing in the middle of the trail, eating berries from a juniper tree. He stretched up taller than I did, sitting on my horse. We waited at a distance until he had eaten all the berries he wanted, yet we reached home before the windstorm swept down from the mountains.